3, 2, 1, and we are live. So we're going to start, as promised, broadcasting more. We're going to start putting more community information, just stuff to keep all of us connected through this historic time on Facebook. We're going to start doing Facebook Lives. We are going to be pushing out more podcast content, and that's what we are doing now. And I'm going to start including pictures of where Julie and I are podcasting from, where we live in Puerto Rico. I really do appreciate all of you that are sending us prayers about Puerto Rico, but the fact is I'd rather be here than just about anywhere else. What about you, Julie?
Yeah, as long as we don't get sick, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. We just found out that there's 6 ICU beds in all of Puerto Rico, so to Julie's point, as long as nobody gets sick. But yeah, so we're going to start doing these extra podcasts in and around the community that we live in, and we'll then start taking pictures of where we podcasted from that day, just so you guys don't have to worry about us. So this podcast, like some of the others that we've been doing recently, are not our typical presentation style podcast. Those happen during the week. The ones, and we're actually doing this one late Sunday afternoon. We did one already today, and you guys got that one earlier this morning. But this one is going to probably hit the website and all the normal syndication portals like iTunes and Stitcher probably later today or tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. We're not really going to be that crazy about scheduling. We're just going to do them when we feel like doing them. And so Julie and I just took a scooter ride around. Maybe we should take pictures for
electric scooter.
Our electric scooter, yeah. A scooter around our community, and we're just checking things out, how people are settling in. And it is kind of interesting. There's virtually nobody on the road. There are people at the beach. There were a lot of people windsurfing, and a lot of people. Of course,
we all travel by either scooter, by foot, bike, or golf cart. You don't see a lot of cars around here.
Not where we live, yeah. So in any event, Julie and I spent a lot of time the last 3 days researching and writing, because as we promised, we're going to come out with a survival guide. That's probably not going to be the final name. The final name will hopefully be something a little bit more interesting. And in case you guys are hearing strange noises, it's because we are outside. Birds, parrots. Frogs, yeah. This time of day, you'll start hearing the coqui frogs. So just remember that we're not in our studio. But yeah, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be releasing a 3-part white paper, a 3-part guide. We haven't come up with a good name for it yet. But the 3 parts are...
I knew you were going to ask me that.
And you forgot? Personal,
protect, and profit.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's going to be 3 parts, and this is going to be your survival guide to get through this historic time. So the part 1 is personal, part 2 is protect, and part 3 is going to be profit. Yes. Part 3, profit, is going to be, frankly, we haven't written that part yet, but that part's not going to be relevant for probably as much as another, God, I hope it's not this long, but a year to 18 months. But we're going to be telling you in the 3rd part where all the different areas are that you might be able to profit from. But in the first part, which we're all in right now, is called the protect portion of what we feel is going to be the 3 phases of this process. And the protect portion, and this white paper is going to be available. I'll tell you guys right now where you can go. And here's something I was hesitant to release this and start talking about this until June. But because of the, obviously this, plague that we're all living under, we're going to go ahead and do it this week. So there's a big announcement I'm letting all of you guys know now. What am I talking about? We are rolling out a version of our best-selling Premier coaching product. And by version, I don't want you to be unclear about this. It's probably maybe 15% of what's included in the Premier coaching product. And the Premier coaching program is something that all of you need to seriously consider. But what we've been thinking about is how can we help the real estate community right now, because most of you guys are going to go in panic mode. You're already in panic mode, but what comes after panic mode is action mode. So the 3-part white paper that you're going to be getting your hands on, and it's going to be available for download here. It's not there yet. It's going to be there in the next couple days. So if you hit that website and it's not there, just trust us that we're going to post it up as soon as we're done editing it. But and we're going to give you some ideas of what's in the first part, protect, here in a second. So I want you guys to write this down. It's not the best web address ever, but here it goes. It's premier-experience.net. 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 We're also going to be sending out text messages to everyone with links so they can go and get free access to this website, where it's a portion of our coaching program. You will see what's available and what's not. You'll see what's normally included in the Premier program versus this Premier Experience program. But what really does matter for you is you want to go there right now. Go ahead. The registration is free. No strings attached. And what we're going to be giving you is the content that's on the website that's waiting for you, including this 3-part plan. But Julie and I are also going to be giving you a very high-level coaching call every single day. And the very high-level coaching call is going to be included for free. And it's a live coaching call. It's semi-private, so you can talk directly with the coach and work your way through some of your real estate needs and transactions, and frankly, a lot of mindset stuff. Now, another product enhancement. We're doing many product enhancements right now for our Premier program coaching clients. And by the way, we're not raising prices on anything. Matter of fact, I just mentioned a free program, so you could argue that we're actually lowering prices. So here's the next thing for Premier coaching members, which a lot of you guys are, thousands of you are. We are enhancing that product by a significant margin, and here's what we're doing. You're going to be getting, in addition to the daily semi-private audio-only coaching call that you've been receiving for years, we're also going to be including a Facebook Live question and answer where all of us can go and basically take the conversations that started on the audio only on the question and answer portion, on the webinar format that we've been using, and then you can take that over to the live Facebook presentation. And Julie, myself, and our other coaches are going to be there answering your questions. And again, we're going to be, sometimes the questions are going to be real estate related. Some of them are going to be mindset related, because what the experience that all of us are going to have over the next, say, 6 to 12 months to maybe even 18 months, depending on who you believe, is going to be life changing. And we can all get through it together. We're all going to work together with each other and share ideas. And a lot of us are going to need little pick-me-ups, little shots of vitamin B, if you will. And so that's what we're going to be doing, enhancing the product. In addition to that, Premier Coaching members, we're also going to be adding all new short sale material. We're going to be adding all new REO material. We're going to be upgrading all of the BPO Mastery or the BPO Cash Flow program. All those things are going to be available for no extra charge to all of our existing Premier members. And it does not matter if you've been in Premier for years, you're still going to get access to it at no additional charge. All this stuff is just product enhancement, and we're going to be rolling out the live video conference call starting on Facebook, hopefully starting this week. So that means if you're a Premier member, you can have access to 2 hours of, basically up to 2 hours of semi-private direct contact coaching calls, which frankly is something that everyone needs. I've been personally reaching out to my friends. I've been reaching out to old coaches that Julie and I know. I've been reaching out to people that I know and trust and ask them what they're doing, ask them what they're thinking. I need those connections too. All of us do. And here's the best part. I didn't mean to make this into a commercial, but it is worth mentioning. Here's the other enhancement that we're making to the program. If you don't have the money right now to become a Premier Coaching client, because here's how the Premier Coaching works. If you were to enroll in Premier Coaching today, and you were to basically pay yourself, it would cost you $2,500, and that's for 6 months, but then you get an additional 6 months at no charge. So basically it's 12 months of coaching. But what we're doing now because of this is we're going to be doing something very special that all of you basically are going to need. You're going to get a lot from the Premier-Experience.net program, but a lot of you are going to want to look into the Premier program, because that's essentially our full suite of coaching product. And when you do that, if you want to join that program, we're working with a third-party lender who will allow you to finance the coaching program. It doesn't cost you any extra, and here's basically how that works. There's no interest if the balance is paid off in 181 days. There's no payment for the first 30 days. You still get 6 months of service with 6 months free, so that's all the same. It's not based on credit. It doesn't. You don't even have it. Better. It's not. It doesn't matter what your credit score is. It doesn't matter. Basically, if you apply, you get in. 100% approval for this program, and that's something we've done for all of you because of the nature of what's going on in the economy right now. All of you guys need help, and that's what we're going to do. So you basically can jump on board and get into the coaching program, and the payment is something like, what is it, Julie? $99 or $100? I don't remember.
Basically less than $100 a month.
Yeah, so there you go. So check that out. And if you want more information on that too, it's available over on our website, timandjulieharris.com. So bottom line is we're going to do everything possible to help you make it through this, what some people are now, the headline of the Atlantic yesterday was economic ice age, So we're going to all make it through this economic ice age together.
Nothing dramatic about that.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to Brad Inman about that.
What, 2 weeks we got there?
Yeah, well, it's a race to see who can come up with the most salacious, attention-grabbing headlines.
I know.
And if they're coming up with headline, I was thinking when I read that in the Atlantic, okay, so if they're calling this an economic ice age, what are they going to call it like 2 weeks from now?
I don't know. There's nowhere to go on that.
That's it. You're done, right?
You're done.
Where do you go?
You just shut all of your content
No, but seriously,
away. Yeah.
if you're the editor of the Atlantic and you're trying to come up with a scarier headline than economic ice age,
It would just be like
What,
a
Martian
blank
invasion?
black page is all you've got left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Martian zombie
Martian.
invasion.
Yeah, we're going
I
to go to
don't know.
aliens soon. I
Something.
think that's probably
I don't know.
predictable.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Julie and I have been spending countless hours in the last few days answering calls and emails and helping you guys essentially stay straight in your mind so you don't essentially have to suffer financially. And I was thinking about reading you some of the texts I've been getting. I'll summarize all the texts I've been getting. No, but like a lot of you, especially those in Premier Coaching, you guys have some cash savings and you're unclear what to do. You're talking about, buying up some stuff that's on sale on stock market or looking for real estate investments, and you're just talking about all these things. I don't want you doing any of that. Don't spend a nickel. Whatever money you've got, I want you to protect it. And that's the first phase, is protect. The last phase, remember, is going to be profit. And so you need to protect now so you can make it through it. So just take the gloves off and just go a little bare knuckle here for you guys in a sec. You just to be really direct. This is going to be 10 times worse than anything you've experienced before. I've experienced, you've experienced. All of us are gravitating towards, and I say this, Julie says this, we've kind of been through this before because, I'm 50 and Julie's not 50. She's younger than me, so I'm not supposed to say her age.
Don't forget
What
it.
are you, 39 plus 10?
I'm a year and 2.5 days younger than you.
Oh, okay. I got it. Well, so we like to think, because it makes us have a probably false sense of security, that because we've been through the things that other people our ages have been through, we've been in real estate for the past 25 whatever years since we were at college, and so we think because we've been through enough downturns we know what it's like, and we're wrong. Truthfully, we're wrong. It's not like anything we've ever experienced before, and I think I can encapsulate that point by the news that basically is breaking the news right now, is the government's economic stimulus package. I don't remember what the fancy word is. The government's better at coming out with better. By the way, have you guys noticed the Democrats come out with way better names for their programs than the Republicans do?
That's true.
Like the Republicans don't have any creativity for their economic stimulus packages. When Obama was pumping out the economic stimulus packages, man, they had cool acronyms.
Acronym a day. It was awesome.
It was new shit
keep
to
them
learn
straight.
constantly. Well, but here's the thing. I brought up Obama. In that era, during that real estate crash, economic crash, the whole thing, the total amount of money that the government pumped into the economy was something like $873 or $63 billion. I'm sorry, million dollars, less than $1 billion. 863. No, let me remember here. No, it was $863 billion. I had it right first. Okay, so the government that's less than $1 trillion. Forgive me, I was an English major. I had to remember how math works. So that's less than $1 trillion. In the first 2 weeks of this economic firestorm, the government has already basically pledged to pump in, are you waiting for it? Are you ready for it? $4 trillion. So that's how seriously they're taking this. And we just discussed this yesterday in our Sunday special podcast, and we're seeing more evidence of it as more economists come out with predictions. They're expecting this to be a bigger, the hard stop of the economy is going to have more of an impact than perhaps even 1929, the start of the Great Depression.
Just to keep that in perspective, I just looked this up. How many zeros does it take to make 1 trillion? Just 1 trillion. That's 12 zeros after the number 12. That is a ginormous number.
Yeah, that is a ginormous number. So, again, what we're looking at here is we're looking at something that's never been experienced before on planet Earth by humans as far as the economic ramifications of this. We've been reading lots of, we didn't fully understand, and it's understandable that none of us really understand how intertwined the economy is. And if you think about, for example, New York City now is the epicenter for this thing in the United States. For this, some people are calling it the Chinese virus, some people are calling it the coronavirus, some people are calling it, whatever the scientists are calling it. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you're calling it, okay? New York City looks to be the epicenter of it. Well, if you look at the demographics in LA and New York City, and you look at all the small businesses and the medium-sized businesses that are just closed and are going to be forced to stay closed for months, guys, those businesses are not going to come back without massive government stimulus. Now, before people start getting pissed off that businesses are getting economic stimulus and that the banks are going to be pumped full of money and the airlines are going to be pumped full of money, here's the difference, and I don't think that any of us have any right to basically feel that we shouldn't have any resentment towards anybody getting any quote unquote free money or low interest rate loans. Here's the reason why. Because I own a business. All of you own a business. It's called your real estate business. A lot of you are entrepreneurs and you're on your business. The government just shut you down. The government should have to pay you for having shut you down. It's not like you took an unnecessary risk and you did something dumb with your business. It's not like you actually made a mistake. It's not like you overborrowed or over-leveraged or took too much risk. They just showed up one day because of the virus and said, you're shut down. That's the reason that I think that the stimulus without limit is justified. And Julie and I are definitely libertarian bending with regards to our politics and our views on life. But with that said, libertarians definitely like small government. But right now, this is the point that this is like a national defense posture that the government should have. The biggest job and priority that the president and the government has is protecting our country. That's like job number one. That's what they're doing right now. And as in wartime, and Trump was right saying this, he's a wartime president. This really is war. I know some conspiracy theories are out there that this was somehow an organized virus that came out of China. And I don't know, maybe history will prove it's true. Maybe this was China's way of basically just, releasing a global I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and frankly, it doesn't really do us any benefit to waste time talking about it. I'm sure there'll be 1,000,001 books and movies written about it. There'll be 100 competing HBO, Netflix specials, 3 or 4 years from now about it. But for now, we are in the protect stage. So in the protect stage, guys, you've got to release yourself from any political political leanings. You got to release yourself from your tendency to want to wall yourself up and just hide underneath your staircase, and you need to go in hardcore protection. And this white paper that you're going to get when you join the premier-experience.net coaching program, and that's the only place it's going to live. I did tweet it out, actually. Did I tell you that?
No.
I had Karen break it up into a million parts and tweet it out.
Good.
Yeah. So that's another place it's going to live, but it's going to be on premier-experience.net. Sorry, the URL is kind of wonky. We'll be tweeting it out too, so all you have to do is click a link, so you don't have to remember that. But it's premier-experience.net. And the first part is protect. And Julie, can you tell them some of the things that are in the first section?
There's so much.
Yeah,
there's so much, but you have to stick with that theme. And you may feel like you're overcorrecting. By all of our research, and believe me, we have been just eyeballs deep in, and we're not going to like alien abduction websites and seeing what they think, or taking a Facebook survey. Right? Well, it might be good to find out what they think. I had
we got to tip that off to the Atlantic.
Somebody applied for coaching that was their website. But anyway, it's different. Okay, so but the point is that we're going to places like WHO and doing the real research and listening to podcasts of epidemiologists and looking at lots of economic forecasts and all of this kind of stuff. Real research, not fringe type stuff. We absolutely, more than probably anybody you know except yourself, absolutely do not want anything like a recession or, heaven forbid, a depression. That's not, I'm looking for the bright piece to this to say, you know what, it's not going to be that bad. But we have to caution you guys, it probably is. And if you feel like you're overcorrecting, you are probably right on task doing the right thing. So
Can
on
I ask
that
you a
note,
question?
Yeah.
Are you holding yourself back on that? Because you already know we're in a recession, right?
I'm trying not to have them have panic attacks, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not...
I'm ramping up into what you asked me, which is the protect part, because
honestly,
I'm about to tell them to call their mortgage companies and, request that they...
But the reality of it is right now is we are in a recession. The reality of it is this is going to be a deep, sharp recession, and it's not going to be a quick bounce back.
No.
It's not. It's going to be a U-shaped type recession that's going to last months. But we are in a recession. When you have this many people losing jobs, we told you guys yesterday that in LA, somebody we know, third party basically, who's a big credit card processing company, said he saw essentially on average all of his merchants' purchases were down 36%, meaning the revenue in their company is down by 36%. So we're absolutely in a recession.
Well, just what are we on, day 11 or 12 here? Just the unemployment applications alone, just this far into it, show that it's a recession.
Right.
If you only take that factor and you forget about, I read it as something about restaurants this morning, that they have all this unsold food in the freezers. What's going to happen with all of them? It's just a snowball effect. So definitely recession, possibly worse.
So stay in the protection posture, like never before. And again, the point of it is, and Julie, please get to your specifics, what they're going to learn about in the white paper, okay? But don't hold back.
Well, let's start with the mortgage issue.
Okay, so I'll tee you up.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll bottom line it. Every single major mortgage company in the United States is or will be offering mortgage forbearance programs. Most of you listening are real estate agents, and these mortgage forbearance programs apply to primary residences and vacation properties, rental properties. We don't
Everything.
know about commercial.
Yeah.
Okay. So I imagine not commercial, because I don't think the government backs
Probably
commercial
not.
loans. Yeah. So your job number one is you need, and on this white paper we give you phone numbers and whatnot, and as we learn more and as we learn more refined details, we're going to be changing the white paper, so it's essentially going to be like a living document, unfortunately, probably for the next year. So but for now, job number one is all of you are going to have to download the paper and read specifically about how to get your mortgage in forbearance. And here's the thing, and here's the bottom line. Every major mortgage company is offering it. Every minor mortgage company is offering it. Virtually everybody has a government-backed mortgage of some variety, whether you know it or not. And every single one of you are going to qualify, because you don't have to be sick. You don't have to provide any documentation. You just, in essence, have to request a forbearance for up to 12 months, guys. And there's no credit hit. There's no reporting to the credit reporting agency. Will not count in any way towards your future ability to borrow. The interest, the payments and whatnot are put on the back end of the loan, but who cares? For many of you, that's going to put immediate cash in your pocket, because that'll be a mortgage payment you don't have to make. So job number one is that.
And you should not wait. Even if you look at your finances and you go, well, I'll be okay for 90 days, don't wait. You don't know what's going to happen in 90 days. Just do this. And remember, in order for it to not hit your credit, you have to actually talk to your lender and actually fill out their probably just one-page form, and then you have to comply with whatever they say. Like, some of them are doing it 90 days at a time. You have to check in and follow what their rules are in order for your credit not to get hurt.
And you guys got to watch out for the scammers. The scammers haven't thought this through yet, but you watch. The scammers are going to start sending out emails and letters saying if you pay them $100, they'll get your mortgage forbearance for you, and you'll never hear from them again. So scammer alert. And by the way, I've been telling all of our coaching clients this, the scammers are going to come out of the woodwork thick. They wait for markets like this. Anybody trying to sell you lists of BPO companies or REO companies, especially when they're asking you to pay them $300 or whatever, that's a scammer. Anyone trying to sell you a lead right now that's predicated on you paying them money, that's a scammer. You guys have to say no to scammers. And what we're going to be doing, like we did in 07 through really 09, is when we come across a verified scammer, we're going to publish it on our website, again with agents' experiences, so that you can not make that mistake. And we did that many times in the last recession. And I'll tell you what we saw people doing. These scammers, they would basically just shut up shop as soon as they were added, and they'd start under a new name.
That's right.
As soon as we found out about who they were, they did it again. Most of these guys that were scamming were selling the REO information, which, by the way, the REO train is not even being loaded. The station hasn't even been built. For those of you who think you can front run the REO thing, when that time has come, I will tell you, I promise you, Julie and I will be the first to tell you. We'll tell you how to do it. It'll be part of our premier coaching program, but right now, the entire world is going to be delayed with regards to any potential future foreclosures. And that means,
speaking of which.
And we think that there's a very good probability, because of these really great programs. I mean, I think it's a great program where people can skip payments for a year. There might not even be a big surge in foreclosures. Yes?
Well, so staying on the housing topic, related to that, no foreclosures or evictions until at least the end of April, and I'm sure that that's going to be extended. So that's on the books already. And then, so the next category, if we're looking at paying your bills on time, staying ahead of this whole thing, and how you're going to be affected. The next thing would be your car payment and your credit cards. So most of the major car lenders, auto, financing, also have similar programs to either do forbearances, skip payments, put them on the back end. Again, you have to call them, make arrangements, and a lot of this is very fluid. So we're going to be updating the documents that we get out there to you guys. If the name of your particular lender or lenders doesn't appear on what we're giving you yet, that doesn't mean they're not doing the program. We'll be updating it. And if they say no to you today, next week they probably will have their program together. So keep on, on task on that. So definitely with credit cards, definitely with your car payments. And so those are probably your three major expenses. And if you get in front of that now and protect your finances now, you're going to be thanking yourself 60, 90 days from now, instead of freaking out and trying to put some Band-Aids on some stuff.
There's also going to be some interesting, and all this is available in that white paper, guys. And Julie and I are just sitting here, and like I said, I'll take pictures where we're sitting, so we're not in front of a computer.
Well, and by the way, what a great bunch of things to talk to your past clients' center of influence, your database about.
That's true. That's exactly the next thing I was going to suggest, is call all of them. That's a perfect excuse while you're sitting at home. Step away from the Netflix and actually pick up the phone. But that's on actually the second part of our three-part paper, which is obviously preserve. But for right now, we're talking about protect. And so under the guise of protect, we told you what you can do to do mortgage payment forbearances and all the rest of it. We are hot on the trail of what we're very I think is going to be an unbelievably cool program coming out from the SBA, which all of you should qualify for. And the SBA program, from what we've been able to pick up, and Julie and I both researched this for like an hour yesterday trying to find out leaks, because the government, senators, Congress people love to leak, but we can't find any real good leaks about the SBA program. But here's what we did find that was consistent amongst all of the things we are reading, is there's going to be an SBA program, Small Business Administration program.
It's actually already on their website.
Oh, it is?
I gave them a link in the paper.
Okay. Well, shit. Julie's ahead of me. See, there you go. I told you how fluid this is. So what is it? What are the parameters?
We're sitting under a tree right now, so I don't have it right here in front of me. But
I
believe it is 50 or fewer employees, which is pretty much everybody listening. I think it's up. It's enough millions to cover everybody. You do have to do an application.
Okay.
It can cover capital expenditure. It can cover payroll. They list out what that's for, but it was not a very complicated process, and they're actually calling it coronavirus relief something or other.
Zero interest for 5 years?
I believe that's right.
Okay,
I'm not sure that's for everybody, but that's an available program.
That's the part I thought they hadn't resolved yet.
Yes.
I think that was the part.
I think they're still arguing with some of this.
Yeah. So the Mnuchin and the Treasury Secretary, I think the big announcement that they're going to have once they pass the $4 trillion.
They're meeting this afternoon about it. I believe.
Are they really today?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, so here you go, guys. Go. But I love when Julie outs me for ignorance. It's wonderful. Well, I'm not even being sarcastic.
Depends on the topic.
It depends on the topic.
Can't
but no, I
go
like
very broad.
Well, but Julie, seriously about this.
They should get something to cover themselves,
exactly.
because unless you're sitting on a ginormous pot of cash, which you might have been 3 weeks ago, but if it was in the stock market, you're probably not anymore.
Right.
You want to be very protectionist of your own financial situation. That way you can take better care. That's why we're leading with this. We're not just going straight to profit. You guys know we're headed that direction, but we're starting with protecting you guys so that you can do a killer job helping all of your people, all of your database, your past clients, your centers of influence, your family. If you're freaking out yourself, you're going to do a terrible job for them. So we're thinking longer term for you.
And as far as going back to the mortgage forbearance thing, if you get mortgage forbearances on your rental properties, we're not sure, but we don't think it doesn't mean you can't collect rent. We're not sure if there's any parameters saying that if you have a mortgage forbearance that you all of a sudden have to allow your tenant to not pay rent.
And besides, how
will they even enforce that?
Yeah.
But here's the point: they're not going to be able to enforce it, even if they come out with that as a guideline. I'm not saying scam anybody, but just saying realistically, they probably won't even come out with this as a guideline. But here's the reason that we want you to do it: is you need to ask for a forbearance on every mortgage you have, and you need to do it because your tenants probably won't be able to pay the rent.
Exactly.
So you need somebody to cover. If you can get a forbearance on that mortgage for 12 months, as that tenant basically gets their finances back in order, you guys have to think about the cascading effect of all the things that are going to be affecting your finances. Okay, unless you literally have, a lot of cash. And I mean cash, you're going to be very, very vulnerable and surprised by the things that are going to sneak up. That's the nature of something like this. So as far as this SBA program, the reason we're excited about it, and again, we're going to get more information on it, is we want every single agent who's going to, listen to us to apply for an SBA loan. And Julie just rattled off all the things that she can just remember off the top of her head that you can use it for. But the reality of it is you're going to get an SBA loan interest-free for 5 years. You don't have to use any of the money.
Nope.
You can just put that money in a your savings account, your cushion, and just keep it there. And you can use it for whatever you want to use it. And when we get to the third phase of this pandemic, when we're in the profit phase or the recovery phase, then you could maybe use some of that SBA money for essentially expanding your business or buying assets or just whatever it is you want to buy, right? I mean, that's in essence how it works. But guys, remember, a 5-year interest-free loan, even if you don't need the freaking money, I promise you, that does not happen. So you need to do everything in your power. Again, the latest information is going to be on the white paper. Every time Julie and I get new information, we're going to go right to that document. We're going to update it. We're going to get rid of the old one. We're going to update it with a new one. So go to premier-experience.net and subscribe to that site. It's free. And then, there you go. That's where all the latest information is going to be. So, Julie, that was like a half hour. I know there's a bunch of other things we can talk about.
We'll get through them this week, and we'll be updating them literally, probably momentarily, the way things are going right now. So, take good care of yourselves. Watch your own health, obviously, and be very fluid and flexible. We'll be talking with you guys all week about how things are changing You're still going to be talking to people, making virtual appointments. It's how you go about things that are changing. So, limit your time in front of the news. One of our future points is spend more time out of the news than you do on the news, so that you're on the phone talking to people. I mean, you might be talking to your tenants about how they can do a forbearance on their car payment so that they can pay their rent. You're going to have a lot of interesting conversations, and that's why we're trying to educate you up front so you know what the options are and you don't feel like you don't know what's going on. Lack of information is what causes people to freak out. We're going to make sure you guys are not in that situation to the best of our ability.
That was kind of genius what Julie just said. I hope you guys were listening. Not only are we wanting you to protect yourselves, but obviously go and call everyone you know, love, and care about, whether that includes your tenants or not. And
speaking of which,
and put them into protection mode too. Yes, dear.
Yeah, well, so, you guys already have all this stuff to talk about, low interest rates, all the forbearance programs, all of that kind of stuff. But since you're going to be talking to your database, seeing as how your home and their home and your phone works, you're going to have lots of conversations. I posted on the Premier Coaching, and I think I'll put it on our Facebook page as well. It's actually 60 additional questions just to keep the conversation going and to connect with people, since that is your social connection. I read an article this morning about, we're all worried about the economics of this, but also the social ramifications about physically being away from your friends, your family, etc. And so some of these conversations, one of the questions was, what's your favorite movie and why do you love that so much? And when was the last time you watched that? Just to be conversational with people and to feel connected, because after all, what you've got right now is time, and your job is to connect and reconnect with your entire database. We'll talk to you more about that later in the week, but I'm beefing up the things that you have to talk about. That way your connection goes deeper and stronger, and people will remember you for this 6 months from now, 2 years from now. Things will turn around, but they're going to remember who they were connected with when they were at home freaking out themselves because they're watching too much news.
Some of the best texts I've received from all of you guys, and I'm just during this recording, I probably have gotten, I don't know,
a
20.
Bunch.
Yeah. They're simple. How are you doing?
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, that's really nice. It's sweet. I appreciate it. And we're doing great, by the way. That's the reason we're reporting back for you guys. Don't have to worry. Puerto Rico is not what you think. It's an amazing, amazing island with amazing people who are unbelievably strong, who have unbelievably giving, caring, beautiful natures, and are on such a regular basis confronted with some sort of just external threat between hurricanes and power outages and earthquakes, that they've got a hardiness to them that I've never experienced before in my life. I thought Midwesterners had good backbone. No, sir. You come to Puerto Rico, these people are the real freaking deal. And they are beside themselves to help each other in every way possible. Some of those caring, beautiful people. It's amazing. It really, truly is. I feel blessed to be here. So, guys, listen. We are going to be keeping you completely in front of what's happening next. We're really putting a tremendous amount of time and effort into this. Do me a favor, pay us back by spreading the word about what we're doing for the real estate community and the entrepreneurial community on a whole. Please share our podcast. Send this podcast around to as many people as you can. Post it on your Facebook page. Retweet it. Do whatever you can to help us get the word out. Premier Coaching members, get ready. We're about to enhance the product, our Premier Coaching program, taking it to the next level. The rest of you, the free coaching program, which is basically maybe 20% of the normal Premier Coaching program, but still it's a great place to get started, is available at premier-experience.net. Get over there right away. The site is ready to take new applicants, premier-experience.net. In the meantime, guys, absolutely positively stay focused, stay drilled down on the protection mode. You have to protect yourself first by putting your face mask on first. Pun intended, by the way. And then we're going to give you the specific drill down step-by-step things you need, because finances matter. This is going to last longer. Please stop saying, and I'm going to stop saying it too, this reminds me of September 11th, or reminds me of whatever.
This is not just like that.
Nope.
You've got to remove that thought from your head. There is nothing. I thought that at early days too.
You did.
And we were talking about, this feels a little bit more like 9/11 than it did 2008, and then like 2 or 3 days passed. It's like, okay, this is not like that. And we have example after example. So you are in a new world. You've got to have new thoughts, and you got to forage ahead, and we're going to help you with that. We're having to coach ourselves to stay on that path as well.
I mean,
we understand.
I'm connecting with, Julie and I are really good friends with Sean Kokoska, and I'm going to be talking with Diana Kokoska's mom and Tony DeCello, these people that have been, in the real estate business and entrepreneur business longer than us. They're kind of our mentors, and all these other people that we know, love, and care about. We're reconnecting with them. We want to know how they're doing. a lot of these people are a lot older than us. We want to make sure that they're safe. Those are the types of things you do to fill your mind. If you put yourself in a position of helping others and offering to be of service, as our fellow Puerto Ricans do on a regular basis, that really does it changes your mind out of this egotistical sort of fear mode and puts you in a generosity mode, which is something that all of us need to be in. And I have to, in the third part, which Julie and I haven't started writing, called Profit, I'll tell you one of the things I think is going to happen, which really is exciting for me, to hope is true. And this just might be me, breathing some of my own hopium, is the belief that on the other side of this, we're going to realize how stupid all of us have been for so long with regards to some of these political things and all these stupid conversations.
Stuff you're not hearing about anymore, which really didn't matter.
Yeah, if you notice all the things that aren't in the news, we're going to realize that we are a country, we are one people, we are under God. This is an amazing blessing that we live in this country when we do. And we need to get back with remembering the greatest strength we have is each other. It's not our stupid government. It's not all these other things. It's the people. It's the people that make the country special until we all decide that it's not and that we're not. As soon as we start thinking and acting like that, you have what we've been experiencing for the past, really, it's more like 12 years, 13 years. The things that have been happening in our country have just been insane. And maybe this is going to be the hard reset for us to get back to what it means to be part of what is the greatest country in the history of humanity, which is the United States of America. That's what I sincerely hope. I sincerely hope we rediscover each other and realize that we're all citizens of this great nation together. And that's going to be in the profit phase, which is, unfortunately, we're going to have to make it through the protect phase and the second phase before we get to the profit phase. So for now, make sure you build your wall tall and you shore up any leaks that you have, and you follow our advice to the letter with regards to your finances. Right now, Premier Coaching members, this content's obviously available for you already. It's waiting for you. Those of you who are not involved in one of our coaching programs, I've just given you the gateway to do it. Go to premier-experience.net. You guys have a fantastic day. Julie, anything you'd like to say to these guys as I'm signing off?
Nope, don't wait. Take action right now, and we'll have your backs through the whole way through. We'll get through it together.
God bless, guys.